Happy New Year!
We hope you had an absolutely amazing holiday season. I know we loved getting some time off from vlogging. We spent our first Christmas back in Florida in nearly 2 years and celebrated our first Christmas in our new home. So it was super, super special for us. We hope it was just as lovely for you. We're currently heading back home from an amazing Florida Keys camping trip. We're gonna be showing you that next week. But we wanted to take you along with us on our travel day back to St. Petersburg while answering some of your questions. We've been wanting to film this for a long time, kind of catch you up with what's going on. Last we left you, we were possibly moving to Mexico after getting residency. Then we did a bunch of travel plans internationally. We bought a house, and you might be wondering what's going on. Today we're gonna fill you in on all of that and more while answering some of your most commonly asked questions like, do we want kids? What do we do for money these days? What are our travel plans in the near future? Are we gonna stop RVing now that we have a house?
So stick around, and we hope you enjoy this travel day.
Someone asked how much we spent on the house and how much we spent on renovation, or how much we budgeted for that. We do not feel comfortable disclosing the exact numbers.
Let's just say that we got the best deal that we could have in the market situation that we were in when we bought. We assumed that since it had renters in it before it was on the market, that it would be in okay condition because they had done a lipstick reno inside. But once we got in and really started like cleaning and redoing a couple things, we just had to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where, yeah, it just gobbled up the renovation budget. So now we're taking our time furnishing.
If you want to help us out right now, we will have a link on ways that you can support our channel at no extra cost to you in the video description below. Any support you give, very much appreciated. The next question is, are we still doing mortgage investing? For those who don't know, we started our journey into full-time RVing in 2017 as mortgage note investors. So we would buy real estate mortgages. It's a very complex niche industry that at the time was very, very lucrative for us following the Great Recession. But the industry changed a lot over the last 4 to 5 years, and it just wasn't as lucrative as it used to be. So we decided in about 2020, 2021 to sell off almost all of our portfolio. I think we only own one asset now.
If the notes market becomes lucrative again, we will definitely jump back in, but right now is not the time.
We've switched our gears completely into content creation over the last few years. So we have a blog post that I've written about the 6 different ways that we earn income today. I'll have a link for that down below. The blog is one of the ways, as well as this YouTube channel. We also sell things like guides, so there's lots of different avenues of making money as we travel on the road.
We have a lot more questions to answer for you, but the wind is picking up out here, and we got to check out of this campsite anyway. So let's get started with our move day, baby. Next question.
Do you feel pressure to create content constantly?
Yeah. Platform itself likes when you post stuff, so just keeping fresh content up on a regular basis is a thing when you commit to this as a source of income. Like Liz actually handles it a little better than me, but sometimes it affects my mental state and how I enjoy whatever seemingly amazing adventure we might be on. Like, I could very well be a grump behind the camera, but that's something that I'm trying to work on, and that way this stays enjoyable for me into the future.
Something we're really trying to focus on over the last year is taking that pressure off of ourselves to post consistently. I think sometimes we would put the YouTube channel first and putting things out as the top priority over our mental health, over our marriage, and over our well-being. Posting less often, or only posting when we feel we have a quality video or that it aligns with everything that's going on with our life. I think that's hopefully taking that pressure off of ourselves to find more balance, because it can be a lot to manage life and content creation and full-time travel.
Kind of why we needed the house too. We have a home base we can come back to and recenter.
Next question is, what has been one of our favorite travel experiences? I have a hard time just narrowing it down to one. People ask all the time, what's your favorite place you've ever visited? And it's just like impossible to answer. Each place has such a distinct memory for us. They're special in their own way. Some of the coolest experiences I can remember that are core memories forever is when I got to paddleboard with dolphins in Baja, and there was just like dozens of dolphins swimming all around me. I could have touched them. That was absolutely amazing. Also getting to experience the monarch butterfly migration in Mexico, getting to touch gray whales in Baja, swimming with sea lions in Baja. A lot of my favorite moments have been just connecting with nature and getting to do really unique like bucket list travel experiences, all from the comfort of our home.
Okay, most favorite travel memory for me would be the time we went to Yellowstone. First time I saw the Grand Prismatic Spring, the seam was coming off of the spring and the wind was blowing just right that it felt like I was inside of a rainbow. It was the most crazy experience I've ever had visually, and to realize it was a natural thing and not man-made blew my mind even more.
Dude, how cool is that?
It's super cool. This is one of the reasons why I love Florida. There's stuff in the water where you want to go swimming that could kill you.
This is also why I love RVing.
Yes. We just popped into some little roadside picnic area and voila, gators.
Seeing the gator is a perfect transition to our next question, what is the scariest experience you've had on the road? Out of all of our travels, a year and a half through Mexico, all across the country, we really have felt very safe. We haven't been in too many like uncomfortable or dangerous situations, but it doesn't mean they haven't happened. So the scariest experience for me was when we just got back from Baja. We were at a harvest host in Louisiana. We ended up meeting what seemed like a really nice guy. He invited us to have beers with him.
And we were at a brewery, in line at a brewery, and this is how we met him.
It ended up not being the nicest guy, and slowly as the conversation continued, we realized we were not in the best situation. I had already shared that we were staying there, so he knew exactly where we were, and it was very uncomfortable. So that was a big life lesson of don't share too much, and if your intuition's telling you that something's wrong, listen to it.
Yeah, if you think somebody's a creep, they probably are. That's not to say that RVing hasn't necessarily revitalized our faith in humanity a little bit.
It absolutely has.
Met way more cool people on the road, way more welcoming, people who want to make sure we felt comfortable. Scariest when the shutdowns for COVID happened in Mexico. This was the first trip down, so I had zero Spanish other than like, give me a beer. We were walking out of the fruiteria where we had just got groceries, and we were headed to the pharmacy that was on the island where we were spending the lockdown. And then all of a sudden, like 15 dudes on motorcycles surrounded us. They were filming us with their phones, and they were screaming, you know, ¿Dónde está tu cubreboca? ¿Dónde está tu cubreboca? Where's your mask? Where's your face mask? Where's your face mask? Zero Spanish. I'm freaking out. I don't know if I'm about to have to like throw down or what's about to happen. Just felt super vulnerable because I didn't speak the language, so I couldn't understand the context of what they were asking for. We ended up working it out, and they were cool, you know, and in the moment, like looking back, like everyone was just scared. They just want to make sure that we were following the rules. In that moment also, they were like blocking the streets of the entrances to all of the towns around the country. So they didn't want any outsiders bringing anything in, but what they didn't know in that moment was that we had been on the island for nearly a month and we weren't sick. They just thought some tourists rolled into town. But that was honestly one of the times I felt pretty vulnerable while traveling. Yeah,
I agree with that. Getting those leftovers heated up. Someone asked if we had ever considered a skoolie, why we chose this RV over a different one. I loved that this RV was drivable, it was short, which makes it easy to maneuver out of places. We can pack up in a matter of like 3 minutes and be on the road. There's no slides, which is less maintenance over time, less things to go wrong. It's just a really easy way to get around, but it has enough space for us to feel comfortable. We have an oven, we have a full bathroom. A skoolie there's nothing wrong with it, but there's lots of windows, which can make it really hot inside. We'd have to customize everything and build it from the ground up, which is just not something that we wanted to do.
Dude, that's the simple answer. We just don't want to build one.
Yeah, I mean, even a van, like the idea of a van is really nice, but I don't want to have to be responsible for building everything, and that's why we like this one.
It's turnkey. It's just like a house. It's turnkey, so why wouldn't you?
The question we get asked probably most often is, do we want to have children? The simple answer is no. We do not. Both of us are in agreement about that. There's nothing wrong with children. We love our nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
We enjoy being around kids. I used to be a teacher, but it doesn't mean that we need to have our own.
No, we're not trying. No, we don't plan on it.
Someone else also asked how old we are. I am 33.
At this very moment, I'm 39, but I'm quickly approaching 40.
So exciting. This is the year he turns 40.
That was a nice pit stop. We gotta keep moving.
We are arriving at dark time. Perfect.
Yeah,
and very
that took
eats your
way
fashion.
longer than it should have.
So, next question.
Now, oh yeah. What is the next question?
Are you enjoying the diesel versus gas?
In some ways I miss diesel, in some ways I don't. As far as power goes, because this is a giant 6-liter V8 gas motor, and Maggie was only a, I think, 4-liter V6 diesel. So the diesel got way better gas mileage. We were getting around 13.5 miles per gallon on the regular with a 2008 Sprinter chassis. Dito, on the other hand, we're getting, I think, around 9.5. She does have a way bigger gas tank. It's got a 50-gallon gas tank, so at the pump, we feel it, but we fill up way less often. I will say that I do miss the Sprinter cockpit experience. Feel of everything, the way the manual shift with the automatic transmission worked whenever I did hit a grade. It was just way better. Maintenance is working out to be cheaper with the gas motor over the diesel. One big way we offset fuel costs while we're RVing is we use an app called Upside. Upside is a national network of gas stations that offer discounts per gallon. For example, at this station, we got 26 cents cash back for each gallon that we filled up. If you don't already have Upside, we'll have a code down below whenever you download the app. That'll get you 15 cents off of your first fill up as well.
Yeah.
You got more stuff put away than I was planning on. I was hoping to show
Don't worry, there's plenty more to bring in. We're not taking an RV trip for about 2 months, which kind of brings us to our last question since we're back home, which is, what is our travel plans for 2024? We have a big RV trip pretty much for summer. We plan to be out for several months. We are either hoping to do kind of like the center of the country and then going up to South Dakota, North Dakota, and over, maybe to Michigan, follow the leaves back down for fall. Or we may just do an entire New England road trip where we go kind of up the coast, go all through Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, maybe even go all the way up to Nova Scotia. We're not sure. And in January, we will be headed to Mexico. Next week, we're going to be having a video drop about our trip to the Florida Keys, which you just saw us come back from. Last question, which is, why the heck didn't we buy a house in Mexico when just last February we started the process of getting residency? That's because Mexico is a cash country. To buy property there, we would need a lot of money that we just don't have here in Florida. The United States, we're able to use a mortgage to help us purchase. We needed a sense of home and family after being on the road for so long. Mexico is still very much a part of our future. We'd love to live there. We love the country tremendously. We also would love to explore the opportunity of living in Spain. That's another place that really holds our heart, that we have a lot of friends and family there. We definitely want to continue to travel and potentially live abroad. I think right now what this house is offering us is some stability as we figure out our next moves. It also never hurts to have your foot in the door in real estate in the United States specifically. You know, property values don't go up forever. We've been in real estate for many years, so we understand that there's ebbs and flows of the market, but If you plan to hold long term, normally it is a solid investment. So even if this isn't something that we end up liking and we do just want to live abroad or just hit the road in the RV again, we can always rent this place in the future. It's a very transitory period for us. It's a really weird season, but we're very excited for all that is in store for 2024 and whatever this year brings. And we're so grateful we get to take you along with us. Thank you so much for traveling with us. We'll see you next week. Stop doing that. You're on camera, buddy. Don't make your Peter.